Hey, everybody, good morning or afternoon or evening or whatever time people are on watching this. I'm Shy over here on Shy's Coinage, and we're hopping on here today to talk about some money and budget out some money and talk about some debt and talk about some life changes. And yeah, we're just gonna come on here and talk about all things money pretty much today. It's been a couple of weeks since I uploaded a video. Not a couple of weeks since I recorded, but a couple of weeks since I've uploaded. I think I have 3 videos that I recorded that I did not upload because life got a bit hectic for me. So I am just going to skip those videos. And we're just going to start fresh with this first video for August. Um, we are hopping on here to budget out some money in Ynab, which stands for You Need a Budget. It is a budgeting software that pretty much lets you do the cash envelope method digitally, which at this time of my life works much better for me because I don't have the time, the brain power to run back and forth to the bank to get money, to put money back if I need to put it back, and different things like that. So doing it all digitally works better for me because I do enjoy the um, envelope method. I do enjoy being able to break down where everything goes and save individually for things. Like, I enjoy that style of budgeting, which is why I had gotten to cash stuffing previously, but life gets a little bit hectic as my kids get older and as I'm trying to do new things. And so at this stage in my life, doing it digitally works better for me. This is a pay week where only my husband was paid, so we will only be budgeting his paycheck. This is a paycheck from the 7th, I believe. Yeah, the 7th, Friday. The 7th was payday. Today is actually Sunday the 9th when I am recording this, though. There is just one thing I need to do before we get into budgeting out the money, and um, I enrolled back in school. I am going to college. Let me not say back because I have never been to college, guys. I could say loads of things about that, but what I will say is that my parents weren't in a position to help me with that when I graduated high school. And when I say that, I don't necessarily just mean financially. I didn't grow up poor um in the slightest. Both of my parents had really great jobs. Um they owned 3 homes throughout my childhood. We moved a few times, but in each home they did own. They bought all the homes. Um I can't remember a time where we didn't have food, where I didn't have clothes, where I didn't get the things that I wanted. So when I say that, I'm not trying to make it sound like I grew up in a terrible situation or anything. Like, my financially, they made great money, decent money, especially for that time period. Um but they were not necessarily financially savvy, which is why being financially savvy is a bit hard for me because I'm teaching myself. And this is no shade to my parents because they did the best with what they had and for what they knew. And that is what it is. But I say that to say, when I graduated, I did apply for colleges. I did get accepted into a university. I wanted to go. Um, my parents did not have a college fund for me. Um, and filling out FAFSA at the time, I was 18, so I was still considered their dependent, and I would need all of their information. And how do I say this in a way to not put all their business out there? They were not in a position to provide me with that at that time. And um, there was no way around that. If you were under 24, you weren't married, you didn't have children of your own, you had to provide your parents' information, and my parents were not in a position to do that at that time. So I could not go. So I didn't. And then when I turned 21, I got pregnant. 22, I had my first child. 24, I got married. 25, I had my second child. And throughout the years, I wanted to go back to school. It was something I always mentioned to my husband, to friends, to family, to people in my life. I was just always like, I really want to go back to school. I really want to go back to school. I really want to go back to school. And I am now 32. And I am now taking that leap. And let me tell you guys, it is a bit strange to be. I don't think it's strange to be 32 in college. It's a strange feeling for me to be 32 in college and just starting. Like this is the first course I've ever taken. Like plenty of people go back and get more degrees, but I'm trying to get my first at 32, and like I'm attending all these orientations and I'm sitting around a bunch of 18-year-olds who are there with their parent, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, I am the parent. It's a bit strange. I feel a bit out of place, a bit awkward, but it is something that I've been wanting to do. So luckily I do have people in my life who are encouraging me, keeping me uplifted in that space. I don't want to start crying about it, guys, because it's a sore spot for me, but it's something I really feel like I need to do to put myself and my children and my family in a better financial situation. Um, I don't really want to share what I am trying to go back to school for because I do not know how that is going to work out. But I am willing to share that I am going back to school. I am officially enrolled for the fall semester. I am only taking 2 classes this semester because it's been however many years since I've sat in a class and did schoolwork. So I am starting it slow. I'm taking 2 classes this semester. And this semester I am self-paying. Hopefully spring semester I do not have to, because this fall semester is costing me $900 that I didn't necessarily have saved, but I didn't want that to stop me because plenty of things have. I'm sharing all of that because we need to add a transaction on here. I put that 900 on the payment plan. When I started the payment plan, you had to pay 260 right away. I took that initial, I'm sorry, I was trying to figure out what I needed to put here. I took that initial payment out of our emergency fund, and I am going to try my best to put it back. But yeah, I did do that. So we're going to save that. And then my other payments I will be making out of my own personal money. I'm going to mostly try to, I do have a DoorDash account, and so I do Dash. That is how I make money on the side. So I am going to try to mostly make those payments out of the Dash money. The payments are due on the 15th of every month, so I do have a payment coming out Saturday. I have a little more than half of that already. And I'm going to head out right after I make this video to try to make the last little, like $60 I need left to make sure it's there. And so that's going to be covered for sure. And then the next payment will be due on the 15th of September. And so I have a month to slowly dash and put that money aside. And I should be able to squeeze that time in between all the rest of the things that I do in my life. So things are going to be hectic. I'm really going to have to sit down and plan and um, yeah, and just kind of have a schedule, because in the midst of that, I am still holding down a full time job, and I do still have two children who will also be in school and who will also be involved in activities. And so this will also require me to ask for a lot of help from family, which is something that I am just not used to. Um, I don't know why it's telling me that's overspent when I just put in there where it came from. I'm confused about that. Oh, I did that wrong. Oh, that's why. No, this was actually from emergency. There we go. Yeah. Okay. There we go. I did that wrong. That was a me thing. I was like, why is it saying that? That's not correct. Okay. So now that I've explained all of that, let's go in and get this $900 that my husband transferred in budgeted out. We can close that out. Let's see. A lot of these things right at the top of the month we already have funded from last month. So the mortgage has been paid for this month. Both pieces of our mortgage. The phone bill has been, T-Mobile has been paid for this month. Ted's has been paid for this month. So we are going to hop on down here, and we are going to, the next time we are paid will be the 14th. Um, and we actually don't have any bills that are due before we get paid again, but we are going to put money into bills anyway, just to make sure that we are keeping ahead of the game. So we'll be adding 116 here into Google. That is our Wi-Fi service. We will be adding 51 here to our IRS payment. We tend to owe the state taxes every year. We never owe federal taxes. We always owe state taxes, and every year the amount that we owe gets a little higher. We owed for about 3 years before I decided to go ahead and put it on a payment plan, which is something I probably should have did before that, and I know that, guys, but I didn't. And here we are. I'm on a payment plan for it now, and that's just what it is. We're going to add $75 to our sewer, $75 to the water, and then when I get off of here, I will probably go pay both of those bills. We'll do Evergy, which is our energy bill, our light bill, and heating, our heat bill for the home next month. I mean, not next month, next week. Those two will come out of our paychecks for next week. Swim. I am going to add the $86 here for swim. We will see if we will be doing swim lessons next month. I am not for certain. So you pay for the next month. So on the 15th of every month, they put out the schedule for the on the 15th of every month, they put out the schedule for the next month. So in August, we are paying for September swim. So we did not pay for August swim in July because my daughter did not want to do it. This is her birthday month. She turns 10 on Friday, matter of fact, on this upcoming Friday, the 14th. And she was like, I don't want to do it this month. It's my birthday month. And I said, fine, fair enough. So we did not sign up for this month. I moved that money elsewhere. We will see if we do it in September because my son does play soccer. I think that is all the bills we are going to fill out of this. I actually need to move subscriptions up under bills, but whatever. So we'll go here and we will add groceries. I did buy some groceries yesterday. I'll add 175 in there. We'll add 15 here into essentials. I think I need to buy some paper towels. We'll add 15 here to personal. I did spend out of personal yesterday, so I need to come on here and log all of these things. I filled up my tank yesterday, guys, before I hit the stores. It got to 60 before I just stopped it. Ridiculous. But I did fill up, so there's that. I'll add 100 into that. It says we have 221. It won't be at that once some of these transactions actually hit. Um, Storm. We'll be adding 10 here into Storm. I've been adding more lately. Did I actually add this? I've been adding more into her category. I think my target here is for 5 a week. I've been budgeting for 10 a week though, just to beef her account up. Because there are some things that we want to do. So I need to be adding more than that 10, which, we'll get around to that. I don't think I need. We have the 25 sitting here for a haircut for my son. We'll just hold off on his haircut until we get closer to going back to school. He'll be fine. Um, and then what? Let's open up subscriptions. These are all due on the 3rd. They have probably come out already and it just has not logged. We do need to do green light. That will be coming out before the top, before we get paid again. So we'll put that 6 there. And I think that is the only subscription we're gonna do this week. The rest of those we will hold off on for now. We will come here and we will add 16 to my kids' allowance. It was 15. It is now 16 a month because, like I did say, my daughter turns 10 on Friday, and my kids get $1 per their age every week. So she was getting 9. She turns 10 this month, so I just went ahead and adjusted it for the month. So she now gets $10 a week. My son gets 6, so that's now 16 a week. So I need to adjust the target on that as well. And then that leaves us with $160. Let me just tell you guys that back to school has gotten hectic. It's gotten hectic. That's all I got for it. I went through the kids' closets and got rid of everything that they could not fit. And I think I mentioned this in the last video, but obviously it didn't get posted, and I'm not even gonna edit it and post it now. It'll just be this video, which will be dumb long because I keep talking, but whatever. We went through our kids' closets, got rid of everything that's too small. My daughter pretty much couldn't fit anything anymore, and so she pretty much needs a huge overhaul, which is why back to school has kind of gotten out of hand, because she needed everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything down to the undergarments too small. And kids grow, so like that is what it is. My son, kind of the same with him, but not as much. And then we also did find a huge haul of clothes for the size that he needed on Facebook Marketplace, and they were all in great condition, and so we bought that, and that pretty much covered everything that he needed except for undergarments. I wouldn't buy undergarments and things from secondhand, but I've already bought those things for him, and so that pretty much covered everything that he needed, so he doesn't really need anything else. But I'm having to shop new for my daughter because I can't find anything on Marketplace or anything that is age appropriate and also her size, because she's in like a extra large 14-16 for girls, and that size is really hard to find for some reason. They don't put much in that size, so then it leads me having to go into junior sizes and do like extra smalls and smalls for her. But once you get into juniors, everything becomes croppy and holy and things like that, and she's 10, and whatever anybody else's opinion is fine, but not my 10-year-old, so it's a thing. I'm having a time. We've spent quite a bit of money, so if I am just going to be honest, I'm going to take this whole $160 and I'm going to put it right here in this hold it category, under my crumb snatchers, because money has already been spent. And between that and, like I said, my daughter's birthday is on Friday, We have things planned. I'm just going to drop it all right here in this hold it. And then once we're going to go buy their shoes today, matter of fact. So once we do that, we get through with her birthday. I'm going to go through and put all these transactions in, and we will just see where the money falls, and we will readjust then, and then I'll do better next year. And that's pretty much all I got for it. Um so yeah, guys, that pretty much sums up the budget right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and log off of here so I can get out and go dash for a little bit and make the $65 I need to make. And then we're gonna go get the kids some shoes for back to school. And yeah, that's gonna pretty much sum up my day, guys. So I appreciate everybody coming on, watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, all the things that you guys do. Thanks for listening to me ramble through this video. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.